with the law of attraction. It has been one of the biggest things for me, because as the engineering brain, I got to have a plan. I got to see where we're going. I got to have the goal at the end and all that. And letting all that go and just trusting, because Martin Luther King Jr. said, you don't have to see the whole stairway, you just have to see the next step. Take the next step in faith. And the universe will provide the step after that.
And isn't that the truth?
It is.
The whole path never lights up.
Yeah.
But as long as you can see the next step in the light, you're okay.
In the light. Yeah, perfect. And the light always feels good.
Right.
Brilliant.
And what happens when you have two paths to take? So we're talking about getting what you want out of life. So what if two different paths present themselves? Then what do you do, Kevin?
Well, it depends on how they feel. Which one feels better?
So you have to really... How do you find out which one feels better?
Now you're talking about reconnecting with your inner guidance. And that's what we teach. Yeah.
In fact, he's got a program. Well, both of us. I have the one for women, and he's got a program he's designed for women entrepreneurs on how to... What's the title of it?
So it's just building your business by reconnecting with your inner guidance. But so to answer the question, inner guidance is emotions. It's caring about how you feel more than anything else. And then when you get into the higher emotional state and you can maintain that, like Suzanne was saying, then you start to receive the guidance. You start to receive the impulses. If it doesn't feel good in the moment, then, as Abraham Material likes to say, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Right? So you just stop and you try to move it into a more positive place. And if you can't move it there, then that's not the path right now. It might be in a year from now or even a day from now, but in this moment right now, all you got to do is make the decision right now which way to go. And then again, we're back to trust again.
And you can't push it.
Right.
That's a hard lesson to learn as a goal-oriented person, because I was always, well, in 6 months I'm going to have this and this and this. In 6 months I'm going to have this many, blah, 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 blah. And I was taught that way. When being a woman in business, that's how I was taught. And when I started changing, I realized that it's okay to keep stepping in the direction that I want to go, but only one step at a time. And I can't run to it, because it's when I'm ready for it, it'll be there.
Yeah.
So you have to keep working on being ready for whatever.
There you go.
It is.
Running, what's the point of running towards a goal?
Because I want it.
You missed the journey.
Right. Right. When the DIVALUTION show is 6 years old now, 5 years old.
Great.
And the radio station is a year younger than that. It's actually 2 years younger, but I was on another network for a while. But I wanted this network so bad. I wanted it so bad, and I kept trying and trying and trying. It wasn't the right time. And it didn't matter what I did, that next step wasn't showing itself.
I hear you.
And then all of a sudden, but that's a hard lesson to learn for a goal-oriented person. So how would you tell somebody to let the goal go and focus on the feelings? How would you even... Because people are going to be obstinate. They're going to go, nah, that's not going to work. Why does that work? How does it work?
Well, I just say, how's it working out for you?
Yeah, not very good.
Sound like
Dr.
Phil, no?
Do you want to try this other approach for a little bit and see if maybe we can open the door just a little bit to your guidance system and see if you can start tapping into that? But a lot of stuff comes up when you start to do that, because why are you goal-oriented in the first place? Or you're running away from or running towards something, and there's always a fear somewhere buried in that. Usually, in my case, layers and layers and layers and layers.
And as a single mom, it was all about money. I had to sell that house. I had to make that commission.
And there's nothing wrong with any of that. You do what you have to do in the moment. It's just, first of all, don't judge it. Don't judge yourself for
and I
having to
didn't
do
at
that.
the time. But now looking back, I think, oh my God.
It was beautiful. It was a survival skill, and you're here helping who knows how many people right now as a result. So it was you did exactly what you could do and had to do in the moment to get to this point, and here you are. You wouldn't be here had you not had those survival skills. So never, ever look back in any kind of judgment on yourself, because we're always doing the best we can in the moment with the awareness that we have.
Right.
Anything less than that, and you're judging yourself, which holds your own head under the water. What good is that?
Right. That's very true. So if I were to come and sit down with you, Suzanne, and I was going through a horrible marriage, I was in a horrible marriage, and I felt totally hopeless, how would you begin helping me see that there was some way out of this?
Well, I think first what I have done to help women in this situation is let them know they're not alone. And I do explain a little bit of my journey because that way they know I really feel and understand what they're feeling, because I've walked in their shoes. And you can speak from your heart when you've walked in a similar kind of situation where it's painful. And then I began to gently explain how I help myself and see if that intrigues them. And that's how I began to introduce the law of attraction. And, of course, you saw we have these little emotional scale
Yes, I
cards.
love those. We actually were reading that today.
And I usually start just by showing them this is how I help myself. And if they're intrigued, then it really opens the door to, wow, this is how you can help yourself, because really no one picks your thoughts for you. You get to pick your thoughts. Now, we have habits of thought that have kept us stuck feeling bad, but there's all these different ways that you can look at things. And so I would begin that way. There's, of course, a whole lot more, but, I mean, that's just the beginning. If I were to sit down with someone, I'd like to hear exactly everything they've gone through, let them know that I can totally relate, because you know, what I've been through, it wasn't easy either, but look where I'm at now. And there's so much hope. Everyone never has to settle for less, and you never have to repeat another painful experience, identical relationship. Will there always be challenges and things ahead of you? There certainly will, but with the knowledge and understanding, they never have to drag on and take you to the bottom of the ocean, you know.
Right. That's very true, because you know, you would think that after, I'm sure that you have had bad experiences relationship-wise and business-wise, and it hurts. But it's easier to get over as you learn more that it's okay to let people go. Let's talk about that for a minute. Friends come into your life and then they're gone.
Yep.
Talk about that.
Sure. That's, you can't, as the Abraham material would say, you can't vibrate for somebody else. That is, you can't send a signal out into the universe and therefore for them, and therefore you can't attract for them. They're on their own journey of alignment, and where they're headed is based on their broader guidance, based on the desires and who they're becoming. And so the old saying that some people come together for whatever it is, a moment, a season, or a lifetime,
right.
Something to that effect. Right, it's very true. If you're crossing, if you're crossing sort of like in the night, so to speak, and they're heading east and you're heading west, you can rendezvous in a moment, vibrational compatibility. But if the journey is, if they're expanding in different directions, to stay together simply creates increasing tension, because you're naturally heading in different directions. So to try to control that just creates all sorts of trauma.
So it's okay if you're not friends anymore. It's
sure.
okay. And that's another hard thing to accept, I think.
Why is that?
Because, well, I know that some friends that I've had, we've changed. And although we still talk, we don't resonate like we used to. And years ago, that would hurt my feelings. Now it doesn't, because I understand that now. But it did at one time where I tried to hold on to a friendship and not understand why we were drifting apart.
Maybe some obligation, sense of obligation to being a friend.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
And now I accept that it's okay.
Yeah, it has to be okay, because you can't control it.
Right.
All you can do is pull yourself out of alignment to try to go down their path, or they'll pull themselves out of alignment to come down your path. Either way, one of the two of you or both of you is usually out of alignment, and one's going to resent the other, or both.
Oh, and there's that resentment again. That's bad.
And the bigger thing is that if you keep yourself out of your own harmony, then the law of attraction can only bring you things, people, places, circumstances, events that match out of harmony, right? Including your body can get disrupted and so forth. So by letting the people go who aren't a natural match to you in this moment, And it doesn't mean they won't be back. I've had a number of people in my life, one friend in particular from Dale Carnegie 15, 16 years ago, and she comes and goes every few years, and we'll be really close, have great conversations. She lives in California now, I think. And then she's gone. Like right now, she's gone. And when she catches up vibrationally, if she does, then law of attraction will bring us right back together again. We'll have some great conversations. So you not only, when you hang on to somebody else, you not only create misery for you, but you also close off the people who are waiting for you to show up at that next evolutionary level that you're trying to go to but holding yourself back from. And I tell you what, we wouldn't be sitting here talking to somebody wonderful like you, or having met, you know, all these wonderful people, had we clung to the people in the past.
Right, and that's the absolute truth, isn't it? So, Suzanne, sometimes when you meet somebody, there's that instant like, and sometimes you meet somebody and it's not. Explain that.
Well, it's all about the vibration, the energy that the people are putting out. So let's say you're having a great day, everything's been wonderful, the sun is shining, and you just close a deal, and whatever wonderful thing was going on, you're all excited, and you run into somebody, and you just click. Now, it's the equal energy that's bringing you together, so something really exciting, good day is happening for them too. So that just feels so instant. And, you know, it can be any number of things, but what you do have is identical frequencies coming together that are both strong at the time, had a lot of momentum built up throughout the day or even week, depending. And then when you meet, wow, you just feel like, I must have known you before, and you might have in some other past life. It's no different than when you meet someone and it just doesn't fit. If you're at let's say a meeting or something, and you're introduced to someone and you can just feel right away that it just, you're not interested in talking with them particularly. Again, it's just the frequency.
That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah, it's the energy. You can feel the energy. It's like once you get used to understanding how energy has a feel to you.
It is all energy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all energy. Everything
And
in the
feelings,
universe is energy.
which are telling you what the energy is that you're transmitting.
Which people, I shouldn't say all, some people don't give feeling any credence whatsoever. Like,
I'd say most.
I was
Most
trying to
people
be
don't,
kind.
yeah.
Right. And so it's all thought. You were like that.
Still am sometimes.
We both watched The Secret together, and I said, I like this. And he said, it's nice, but prove it to me.
Right. Yes.
Well, so the
very analytical.
Yeah, society has been that way for a very long time.
Yes.
The sort of the masculine, not necessarily male, but masculine, intellectual, action-oriented way of being. And the problem is when you send stuff out into the universe, your energy, it's going to bounce back as well. That's what law of attraction is. But if you're not in a receiving mode to receive what you're putting out, then you keep putting out. You keep putting out because you're blocked from receiving. So we need both sides.
So what happens when you keep putting out?
Well, if you don't receive, then now you're in a place of lack, and so you put out more.
It's like running towards a goal.
But the goal keeps moving
Oh.
because you keep pushing it away. Yeah, so it's a balance between taking action, as Suzanne said, inspired action in the moment from guidance, from broader guidance which knows where to go, and then when you get that movement, knowing when it's starting to wane a bit and not pushing through anymore. You stop in the moment that you peak, and then you relax, and then you receive, and then the law of attraction can bring the things that you've been sending out, and the next step shows up. So it's this push-pull, yin-yang, masculine, feminine process. It's a cycle.
And it can all happen quickly.
As fast as you're ready.
Right.
15 seconds is what Abraham says.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. If you think about something for 15 seconds, that's right.
Yeah, you got a lot
That's
of energy.
right. So, it's funny because we're talking about Abraham, and last week our guest spoke of Abraham, and I had those books for all those years but never read them. And now, all of a sudden, all these people that I'm meeting all speak of
What a surprise.
Abraham. Yeah, it's not a coincidence. There are no coincidences.
No such thing.
So, and it feels really good to be around like-minded people, to have conversations other than how's the weather.
Yeah, we like that too. We took over a meetup group because we just wanted to have some friends that we could talk to this about. That was like 3 years ago.
3.5 years ago, and we got 600 new friends. just like that.
Yeah.
That was we went on one of these Abraham cruises where there was
right.
800 people, and we came back saying it would be really nice if we could